Hello, lovely listeners. It's Luna here, and as I sit by my window, I can hear the gentle patter of rain against the glass. There's something about a rainy day that makes everything feel a bit softer, a bit slower, don't you think? Before we begin, if you find this episode helpful or calming, feel free to like and subscribe, only if it feels right for you, of course. And let me know where you're listening from and what time it is there. I always find it comforting to imagine us all connected, even if it's just by the sound of rain and a shared moment. So, let's talk about this idea that life is supposed to be a straight line. You know, study hard, get the job, tick the boxes, and just keep going. For a while, that script can feel safe, even satisfying. But what happens when the routine starts to feel a bit too tight, like clothes that don't quite fit anymore? Maybe you wake up one day and realize the version of yourself you're living doesn't feel true. I've had those moments, looking at an old photograph and thinking, who was that person? What did she believe? What did she hope for? It's strange how much can shift inside us, quietly, over the years. Sometimes, the discomfort of outgrowing old plans is scary. Letting go of what you thought you wanted can feel like losing your map. But maybe, just maybe, that's where something new begins. Not every ending in life is loud or dramatic. Sometimes parts of us fade away so quietly we hardly notice. Friendships drift, dreams change shape, beliefs that once felt solid start to dissolve. It's like trees in autumn, shedding their leaves without fanfare, making space for something new. These are the small deaths we live through. The soft goodbyes we never say out loud. Maybe you're mourning a version of yourself you used to love, or letting go of a hope that no longer fits. I wonder, can letting go be an act of growth? What if these quiet losses are actually preparing the ground for something else to take root? Sometimes, the most important changes begin with a whisper, not a shout. So, if you notice small shifts in yourself or feel a gentle ache for what's gone, know that you're not alone. These little changes, these quiet endings, are often the first step toward a new beginning. There's a moment when you realize you're ready for a second life. Even if it starts with something as simple as changing your morning routine or speaking a truth you've kept inside. Maybe it's the decision to stop pretending, or the courage to say, I need something different. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's just a quiet decision that no one else sees. And with that decision comes a mix of feelings. Grief for what's ending, hope for what's next. Both can exist at the same time. If you're in that space, I invite you to take a deep breath with me, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Imagine the first sentence of your next chapter. You don't need anyone's permission to start over. Sometimes the smallest step is the bravest one. The future can feel uncertain, even a little frightening. But what if instead of fear, we approached it with curiosity? Curiosity has a way of turning uncertainty into possibility. Imagine standing in front of a door, not knowing what's on the other side. It takes courage to step through, but also a kind of trust. In yourself, in the process, in the idea that something good might be waiting. Let's try a little visualization together. Picture yourself taking a small, brave step into something new. Maybe it's a new habit, a new friendship, or simply a new way of thinking. Notice how your body feels, maybe a bit nervous, maybe a bit excited. That's growth in action. Every step, no matter how small, is a sign that you're moving forward. Resilience is what helps us move through change with grace. It's not about never falling down, but about learning how to get back up, a little stronger each time. One way to build resilience is to keep a gratitude journal. Just jot down a few things you're thankful for each day. Or practice mindfulness, even if it's just a few quiet moments with your breath. And don't be afraid to lean on loved ones for support. Setbacks aren't failures, they're opportunities to learn and grow. If you can see challenges as part of your journey rather than obstacles, you'll find it easier to adapt and keep hope alive. Remember, resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you can nurture one day at a time. Growth often happens in the quiet moments when we pause to reflect. Try setting aside a little time each week to check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What have you learned? Where do you want to go next? Journaling can be a wonderful way to capture your thoughts, feelings, and new aspirations. And don't forget to celebrate the small victories. Every step forward, no matter how tiny, is worth noticing. These moments of reflection help you see how far you've come and remind you that change is possible, even when it feels slow. Is there an area of your life where you feel a gentle nudge for change? Maybe it's your health, your relationships, or your daily routine. Try setting a small, achievable goal, something that feels manageable, not overwhelming. Create a simple ritual, like a weekly check-in with yourself, to notice your progress and feelings. Living intentionally isn't about being perfect. It's about being present and making choices that align with who you're becoming. Change can be uncomfortable, and it's easy to slip into self-criticism when things don't go as planned. But what if you approached yourself with compassion instead? Remind yourself that change is natural, and it's okay to feel uncertain or even a bit lost. Try repeating gentle affirmations like, "I am capable of change," or "Growth comes with patience." Notice any voices of judgment, whether they come from within or from others, and see if you can soften them. You deserve a supportive environment as you grow. Mindfulness is a powerful way to anchor yourself in the present. Even a few minutes of focusing on your breath or your senses can help you feel more grounded. Creative activities, drawing, dancing, free writing, can also connect you to your inner self and bring a sense of playfulness to your day. Consider setting aside time each week for a digital detox or quiet reflection. These pauses give you space to process emotions and gain clarity about your journey. Starting your day with a mindful practice, like a 5-minute breathing exercise, can set a gentle tone. Maybe you choose a creative activity for the week, something that lets you express yourself without judgment. And don't forget to carve out time for quiet, away from screens and distractions. These small rituals help you stay connected to yourself and your growth. Each morning, try beginning with a positive affirmation, something that reminds you of your capacity for growth. Maybe, "Today, I embrace my journey with patience and kindness." Choose one act of kindness or self-care each week. It could be as simple as making a cup of tea for yourself or reaching out to someone who needs support. At the end of the week, reflect on moments of resilience and lessons learned. These gentle practices foster compassion for yourself and others. Setting an intention each day that aligns with your core values can help you stay grounded. What matters most to you? Let that guide your choices. Practice a weekly act of kindness or self-care that supports your evolving needs. And as the week ends, take a moment to journal about your resilience, insights, and areas for gentle improvement. Growth is a journey, not a race. Begin each day by setting an intention that feels true to your values. It could be as simple as, I will listen to myself today, or I will be gentle with my mistakes. Each week, choose an act of kindness or self-care that supports your growth. And don't forget to reflect. Notice your resilience, your insights, and where you'd like to keep growing. Always with compassion and patience. Think about a personal value that resonates deeply with you. Maybe it's honesty, kindness, or curiosity. Craft a daily affirmation that reflects this core belief. Choose a weekly act of kindness or self-care that supports your growth. Volunteering, writing a supportive letter, or dedicating time to a hobby. At the end of the week, journal your experiences, noting moments of resilience and areas where you want to continue growing with compassion. Each day, set an intention that aligns with your values. Let it be your anchor. Practice a weekly act of kindness or self-care that supports your evolving needs. At week's end, reflect on your journey, your resilience, your insights, and the gentle improvements you're making. Remember, growth is a process, and you're allowed to take it at your own pace. Begin each day with an intention that feels true to you. Maybe it's, I will approach today with curiosity, or I will be kind to myself. Practice a weekly act of kindness or self-care, and end the week with a reflection on your resilience and growth. These small rituals help you stay connected to your purpose and your heart. Identify a value that feels central to who you are. Create a daily affirmation around it, something you can return to when you need encouragement. Choose a weekly act of kindness or self-care that supports your growth, and journal your experiences at the end of the week. Notice where you've shown resilience, what you've learned, and where you want to keep growing. Start your day with a mindful practice, like a few minutes of deep breathing. Set a weekly intention to engage in a creative activity, drawing, dancing, or anything that lets you express yourself freely. Make space each week for quiet reflection or a digital detox. These moments help you process emotions and gain clarity on your journey. Vulnerability is often seen as weakness, but it's actually a source of strength. When we open our hearts, we deepen our connection to ourselves and others. I've seen people find incredible courage in sharing their true feelings, even when it's scary. Try practicing small acts of vulnerability, maybe sharing a personal story or expressing how you really feel. These moments build resilience and authenticity, one gentle step at a time. This week, notice one area in your life where you feel vulnerable. Set an intention to embrace that vulnerability, even if it's just a little. A practical tip: try writing a letter expressing your true feelings, even if you never send it. And as you do, notice any discomfort or fear that arises. Acknowledge these feelings. They're part of the growth process. Identify a situation where you can be more vulnerable this week. Maybe sharing a genuine emotion or asking for help. Practice expressing your true feelings in a safe space, like with a close friend, or in your journal, without judgment. Afterwards, reflect on how it felt. Was it uncomfortable, liberating? Notice how these moments of vulnerability contribute to your growth. Try making vulnerability a daily practice. Share a genuine thought or feeling with someone you trust, or write a letter to yourself expressing your true emotions, even if you never send it. Reflect on a recent moment when you chose vulnerability. What did you feel? What did you learn? These insights reinforce your growth and resilience. Keep practicing daily acts of vulnerability. Sharing a real feeling, writing a letter to yourself, or simply being honest about what you need. Each time you choose vulnerability, take a moment to reflect on the sensations and emotions that come up. These are signs of your courage and your willingness to grow. Embracing vulnerability can deepen our connections and foster genuine growth. I've seen people find unexpected strength in opening their hearts, even when they feared judgment or rejection. Try practicing small acts of vulnerability, sharing a personal story, expressing a true feeling. These moments build resilience and authenticity, and they remind us that we're not alone in our experiences. This week, notice one situation where you can be more vulnerable, maybe sharing a genuine emotion or asking for help. Practice expressing your true feelings in a safe environment and reflect on your experience. Notice any discomfort or liberation that comes up and consider how these moments contribute to your growth.